Alright, hey guys, how's it going? Hope you're all doing well. So we're back with another one of these quick tip videos. In this one, I want to show you how I'll go about making like a filtered disco house record. So what we're going to do, we're going to create our own like sort of disco loop, as if we've sampled it from a record. Yes, we're going to create our own disco loop. So we're going to start at 110 BPM. We're going to add a live drum. I've recorded a bass, a guitar part. I've got the MIDI parts as well for anyone who doesn't play guitar, so you can still check the notes out. We've also got the piano MIDI, some strings, a sub bass, and some various drum things. We're going to go through them now. Okay, so if I was creating my own disco loop, I would start with a disco drum. So I'm going to show you that now. Yeah, there you go. It's just from a sample pack, just some like live funk pack. I just go for live sounding drum loops and I just throw them straight in. So there we go, we'll put that in there. Alright, so let's take a listen then. Yeah, I'm liking the sound of that. So the next thing I did, I added a piano. So I'm going to show you the notes. It's only 3 notes. I'll play the notes on the piano now, and then we'll just jump straight into the MIDI, because I want this to be a quicker video. But the chords are F, G, and C. So it's an F minor 7 to a G to a C. So I'll quickly play the groove for you, and then I'll play it over the drums, and then we'll just jump straight into the MIDI part. Okay, so that's got a nice sort of disco flavour to it. So I'm going to play that along with the drums now. Okay, so that was me very roughly playing that piano part there. Now what we're going to do, we're going to throw the MIDI part in, and we're going to visually see what's going on here. Alright, so we're in the MIDI part now, so I'm going to press play here. Alright, so let's play the live drum and the piano together now. Oh, that's grooving along nicely. Okay, so next we're just going to put in like a basic shaker, a tambourine, and some like sort of vinyl crackle to make this sound like you've sampled it from an old record. Okay, so let's just start with the shaker then. We'll throw that in now. Here we go. We'll just loop that up. We'll put this on complex and turn it down. So there you go. Just a nice sounding live shaker loop. And we'll play this with a live drum loop. There you go. Yeah, I'm liking the sound of that. Let's just go for the tambourine then. We'll throw that in. Turn it down. Right, so let's give this a play. Yeah, again, it's got a nice live sound to it, which is what we're aiming for. Right, so now let's play the shaker loop and the tambourine together. Right, very nice. Let's pan one left and one right. Let's just do it. Maybe 20 left, 20 right for now. Right, so let's play the drum loop, the tambourine, and the shaker. Okay, very nice. And let's add the piano then. Like I say, it's already got that kind of disco flavour already. Right, so next I'm going to add this Bangle Crackle. We might as well just put it in now. So here we go. Throw that in. We'll take a listen to it. So it's just the sound of a needle touching a record, basically. It just gives a nice warm feel to your loop, because we're creating a loop here. We want something to sound like it's been sampled. Or just have it low in the mix. Like you can hear it out there. They say it's not loud, but it definitely adds a warmth to it. Okay, let's play everything together then. Okay, so I recorded a live bass. I'm going to play that for you now. Yeah, so the bass line is just following what the piano's doing. So it's playing F, G, and C. So I'm going to play the piano and the bass line together now so you can hear them working together. On the drum. Now what you can do with Opera is go into the presets, go to bass, and I think they have a guitar bass one down here. Yeah, guitar bass, just throw that in. Okay, so this is the MIDI here. Now as you can see, it starts to F, just some octaves, goes to G, more octaves, and then to C, and then it resolves on the C, and then goes back to F. So I'll play this all together now for you so you can sort of visually see it. Now I'm going to delete this now because I've already got the live guitar bass, so we can get rid of that. Okay, next I recorded like an electric guitar, so I'm going to throw that in now. Again, it's just following the chords, so it's F, G, and C. I mean, that's fast there. I recorded it at 110, but I've sped this up. I forgot to change it back, but we're going to be speeding it up again anyways. Okay, so we're going to listen to the guitar, then I'll add the bass line, and then I'll add the grand piano, so you can hear all the music parts together. On the bass, the piano. Okay, so let's play all the parts together with the drums. Alright, and last but not least, we're going to add the string section. Now, all I've done with the string section is just play the same chords as the piano. I've just held the notes in. So I'm going to show you the VST I use to achieve this. I've talked about before, it's a plugin called Epic Strings by Spitfire Audio. I use it all the time on disco stuff because it's got a really nice live string. Alright, so this is Epic Strings. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to throw in the MIDI part and we're going to hear what this sounds like. Okay, so I'll just grab the string. Here we go. Okay, so let's take a listen to it. Right, so I'm going to add the strings, then I'm going to add the guitar parts and the piano. The guitars. Alright, so there you go. I think that's enough elements now for us to be able to bounce this out and kind of manipulate it like it was a sample. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to adjust the volume slightly. I'm going to bounce this out and then we're going to go into the next audio project and I'm going to show you how to do the next stage. Okay, so we're in the second project now. I've got this bounced out. So this is the original one and this is the chopped up one. Now I'm going to try and recreate this here so you'll see everything I'm doing. We're going to start with this first though. So this is the original. So we're going to play this now. That sounds quite nice. Now what we're going to have to do is EQ. If we had a sample, what we would do at this point, like if we'd ripped it off like a disco record, is you'd want to take the bass out. So I've cut the bass here. It's at 200 hertz. Yeah, it's at 200 hertz. So I'm going to play this now. Now you'll hear like the bass line isn't in it anymore. You can kind of hear it, but it's like the subs are out basically and the drums. You can still hear that snare, you can still hear the highs, but like the kick and the subs are out now. So that gives us room to like chop this loop up and then like recreate our own bass line. Okay, very nice. So now what we're going to do is turn this up to 125 BPM. So now this is going to sound a lot more like a DJ record and like a sort of a Ibiza summer disco house kind of record. Okay, so let's hear this loop sped up now. Okay, so what we can do now is add a filter. We can mess around with this. If this was the breakdown, like in this idea, this doesn't end up being in the main breakdown. We just use little chopped up sections. But I want to show you if I was using this in my main break, we just filter the stuff out. So just filter it like that and bring it in slowly when you're on your breakdown. And you just got that nice summer sort of disco sound. Alright, so the next part, this is where we find these little bits of magic in the loop. Now we only need maybe a 2-bar loop or maybe a 4-bar loop, and you're just going to find these like sort of little small bits of magic, and you don't know where they're going to be, but normally when you do a sort of idea like this, when you loop stuff up, you end up finding a whole bunch of like potential track ideas. Okay, so we're going to go into the loop now. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Right, so here we go then. We've got this looped up here. Now this is the full loop, as you can see, so I'll press play. All good, so this is very nice. So what I want to do is just drag this here though, and we're going to create our own loop. So if I drag this down, as you can see, when I'm moving this across, this is changing here. So it's just matching what we're looping up. So we're just going to try and find just some little loops that we can kind of potentially turn into a track. 9 times out of 10, these like sort of loops jump out at you. In this case, it did as well. I know which loop I'm going to pick here, but this is the routine I would take with like every single time I do this. I mean, even there, that's a potential track idea. And we'll shorten this though. So here we go. And as you can hear, we're getting that sort of filtered French house kind of sound. Right, so let's turn it up a little bit, and then we're going to go across here and just see what we can find. Right, so let's drag this right. There you go, straight away. And again, with the filters, we can bring these in and out and like really get that cool sound. So here we go. Okay, so that's really cool, that one. So let's keep going. Yeah, and there you go. I think it's the one I picked as well, so I think they're the ones we'll use. But I'm just going to go through this loop so you can hear what I'm talking about. There's another one. These are all different potential track ideas. You can really manipulate these loops. Okay, very, very cool. Okay, so I like this one here. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to make a chop here. So let's just drag this out. So this is the first loop I like. And then I think we can chop that there. And then we're going to click on this one here. And then we're just going to change to a different one, which I think this one's the good one. So that was really cool, that. So let's just loop these two ideas up. And now we've got, from that original idea, we've created this. Like this wasn't my intention to make this loop like sound like this. This is just what happened to be inside the loop. So let's play it all together. That's got a really, really good sound to it. That's 100% got a vibe to it. So we're going to run with this idea here. We're just going to make some basic chops, kind of speed some chops up and then add the filters. And then we'll sidechain it. And we'll get it kind of pumping along. But first, I'm going to replicate what I did on this top chop loop here. So let's give it a go. Right, so I'm going to play it now to remind me. Alright, okay, cool. Right, so I remember that. I think we're going to capture the first note. So, okay, so I think we can grab this first note here and then put that there, I think. So we're getting that good sort of like double, it's like sound sample, but it gives like a cool effect. Maybe one there as well, was it? Yeah, so they're just like sort of little off hits, but they end up sounding cool. So let's just play that all the way through. Maybe go like this as well, just like repeat this one. So that's like, yeah, we could do that and then just duplicate this one in half again. So just do that. So that's quite a cool little loop. Oh, we could actually, I think I actually did this as well. Put that on the end. Because that sounded a bit off, I remember that. So try that. Yeah, that's cool. Like I say, it's just trial and error. Like, not sometimes these notes don't work together. But like I say, it's fun just like mashing things up and just seeing what works. You can have a lot of fun doing this. Yeah, so I just duplicated this over. Then I just did one final thing. Actually, I might as well just show you the top chop now, because that's the technique I used. Let's drag this all the way over. And you'll see what I've done. I've just made like a sort of tweak at the end. It just sounds like a drum fill at the end, but again, it's just the chops. I've just took my time and just like kind of trial and error worked out what sounded right. So I'm going to play this all the way through. I've imagined this bit as like what the main breakdown would be. So I'll colour that a different colour. Right, so I'm going to play this all the way through for you now. And what I'll do on these fast parts, like I'll add the filter. That's like kind of what I'd do if I was producing the track. And then what we'll do, we'll add some like basic drums on it, so you get an idea of how this sounds. Okay, so I'll play this all the way through for you then. We're going to add some basic drums, and then we're going to add a sub bass, so you really hear how this is going to sound like if it was in like a sort of club ready environment. Okay, so I'm going to play the chop all the way through now for you then. Here comes the chop part here. Just do something like that, you know. And I'm just imagine that's the breakdown. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to add the sub bass now. Okay, so I found the part I was looking for. So it's this part here, and it's the next part. So this is the part we've got as the bass line now. So this is our new bass line, which is obviously a lot more simple version of like the original we've got, but it just has that cool sampled sound now. And the second part of the bass line's this. Right, very cool. So I'm just going to chop these two parts here. Okay, so these are the only parts we need. So let's drag these over here. Okay, so let's do this. Duplicate it across. And then just do this and duplicate this across as well. And we can kind of match the chops as well. So let's take a listen first anyway. I'll show you what I mean. Right, okay, let's take a listen to these both together then. So where that chop is, we can just, I know that was the first note, so we can just put one there as well. And this is going to make the bass sound more complex. And we're only using notes that we like are already in the loop anyway. But it's just a cool way to make your bass sound a bit more interesting. Yeah, and with this one, I think this is like a double as well. These are different notes, so we can just double that, which is going to match this as well. They're both the same chop there. So now we've got like a bit more of a complicated bass line. Let's give them both a play. Obviously, we'll get rid of them clicks now. Okay, let's keep going then. So we do that there. That's quite cool. Maybe add some fades. Probably move that there actually. That's quite cool. Okay, so I've made a few tweaks here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a side chain to this Discord chop now. So we'll go in there now. We'll grab the LFO tool. Okay, let's just add a little bit of side chain to this just to give it a bit of bounce. And let's do the same thing to the bass line. Turn that down a bit. Okay, so finally what I'll do at this point is just add a kick drum, add like a top loop, and I'll add a clap loop, just so you get a basic idea of how this is like became from like the original to what it is now. I'll obviously go into a lot more detail, and I actually might do like a sort of track from scratch course. I just wanted to show you the technique of how I go about making these loops, because I left a lot of detail out in the last one. Okay, so I've thrown a kick in there, so I'm going to match up the bass. Okay, it's got a really nice groove to it. Okay, so I'm going to add a drum bus to this chop here. Okay, we're going to look for some top loops now quickly. Alright, so there it is, guys. I hope you took something from this one. Now, this is just a very basic version of how I go about doing this. But this is the technique I use every time I make one of these disco loops. I'm definitely going to do a sort of track from scratch one of these, where we'll go into a lot more detail. We'll get things a lot more tighter. That's for a future course, though. But I just wanted to show you how I do this one, because a few people asked for it. So that's it. Thanks very much for watching the video. I'll be back very, very soon with a new tutorial. Also, we have a big track announcement too. Okay, take it easy, guys. Peace out.